Hey gang, I got an offer for you today from LinkedIn. As business to business marketers, your needs are unique. B2B buying cycles are long and your customers face incredibly complex decisions. Isn't it time you had a marketing platform built specifically for you? LinkedIn ads empower marketers with solutions for you and your customers. LinkedIn ads allow you to build the right relationships, drive results, and reach your customers in a respectful environment. On LinkedIn, you have direct access to build relationships with decision makers. Of the 875 million users on the network, 180 million are senior level executives. 10 million are C-level executives. You will also be able to drive results with targeting and measuring with their tools built specifically for B2B. And best of all, they work. Audiences exposed to brand messages on LinkedIn are 6 times more likely to convert. LinkedIn ads also rank #1 for security, community, and ad experience as part of the Business Insider's Digital Trust Study. Make B2B marketing everything it can be and get a $100 credit. It's a $100 credit on your next campaign. Go to linkedin.com/MPN to claim your credit. It's linkedin.com/MPN. Terms and conditions apply. Entrepreneurs Enigma is a podcast for the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. It's about the wins and the fails that we all face being entrepreneurs, and how we learn from adversity. Every week I talk to a different entrepreneur with a story to tell. I'm Seth Goldstein. Come with me on the journey. This is Entrepreneurs Enigma. Let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the Entrepreneurs Enigma podcast. With me is Ryan Frankel of TASL, also known as This App Saves Lives. Hey Ryan, how's it going?
Great, Seth. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, this is fun. So Ryan, you went to school in the Philadelphia area, right?
Correct. I did my undergrad at Haverford College, and then after a stint in New York as an investor, I came back to Philly, got my MBA here at Wharton.
You just can't stay away. Philly's a great area. I love this area. I'm kind of partial, born and raised, so go figure. So so you did just say investor. Let's talk about that. So you went to Haverford, you got out, and you didn't start the entrepreneurial journey on where we would think you would start it. You started on the investment side. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so when I was at Haverford, I still carried forward that dream that I was going to be a professional baseball player. I was a collegiate baseball player, and there's something about being 5'9", a buck 50 that just doesn't get the scouts all that excited. And so,
Oh,
even though I had some great experiences and was able to reach some high caliber results on the field, taking it to the next level wasn't for me. And so the other avenue and passion of mine was finance and investing. And so I was very lucky to be able to start my career out at Goldman Sachs in New York,
oh
where
wow.
I spent the first 4 years of my life post college as a private equity investor for Goldman. And yeah, I had a great experience. Say what you want to say about the evil monster that is Goldman Sachs. It was phenomenal.
But you came out of college and you went right to Goldman Sachs, and that's pretty impressive.
I had an internship there the summer before, which helped, and it
Hmm.
kind of exposed me to the firm and the firm to me. And so, the first 4 years, the firm basically said to me, "Look, go out there on the road. We want you to meet, one on one with the portfolio companies that we either had invested in already or we were considering investing in, and get to know their team. Get to know the entrepreneurs behind the business, figure out what they need most to grow their company, and give it to them." And I did that for long enough to know that I really wanted to be in their shoes. And, 4 years of investing in these companies, and I just wanted to be on the other side of the table. I wanted to be the recipient of capital, not the provider. And so that's when I left Goldman and came back to Philadelphia to get my MBA at Wharton and to rebrand myself.
So you rebranded yourself. Now you flipped it around. Now you're the entrepreneur that you wanted to be. And we talked previously. You had said that you had 3 startups. Well, two prior to this. One.
So when I was in grad school, I connected with a classmate of mine over a concept for a language translation business that would enable travelers to instantly connect over the phone with a live interpreter, regardless of where they were in the world, at whatever hour of the
Oh
day it
wow.
was. It was really to, help travelers navigate language barriers. And, this was a concept that we took through a business incubator program called Techstars. It's a
Hmm.
company that we took on the TV show on ABC, Shark Tank. and
Yeah.
we eventually grew the company out of New York for a number of years before we were ultimately acquired. And
Wow.
in between the acquisition of that company and the company that I currently run today, this app saves lives. I founded another company that, as you put it, was a good learning experience. We definitely certainly
Yeah.
helped some individuals and grew the company along the way, but never really were able to make a massive company out of it.
Now we're at TASL, also known as This App Saves Lives. What was the impetus for this? I mean, first off, what is TASL? What is This App Saves Lives? What's the whole crux of it?
So this app saves lives is a mobile app based solution that effectively rewards drivers who choose not to engage in phone-based distracted driving. And it's a company that, I
Wow.
founded after having been pretty badly injured and nearly killed while I was out on my bike, actually, riding through New York City when a driver actually ran a red light while sending a text message. And um,
Oh,
I was very lucky. I was able to see the car coming towards me, so I could swerve to avoid the direct collision, but unfortunately ended up flipping over my handlebars, fractured my hip, my elbow, and quite a number of other bones in my body. And so,
ouch.
yeah, ouch indeed. Um, so for me, it started out as that personal pain point, literally. And from there, the entrepreneur in me wanted to come up with a solution to solve this problem, which
Mm.
unfortunately causes about 2 million accidents every single year. And that's just here in the US alone. And so this app saves lives is our approach. It's a rewards based approach that effectively engages really well known brands around the country who sponsor great incentives to our audience of drivers for abstaining from distracted driving. And so drivers actually earn tassel points based upon the time they
Mm.
spend driving undistracted. We could talk about how the
Ooh,
technology works, but
yeah.
our technology enables us to determine what you're doing on your phone when you're behind the wheel such that we can issue you these rewards points. And then, drivers are able to redeem those points for free product and discounts from Reebok and Urban Outfitters and Shake Shack and Insomnia
Oh, that's
Cookies,
wild.
my personal favorite as someone with
Oh,
a
yum.
sweet tooth, and a whole host of other brands around the country. So really using rewards and not punishments to drive meaningful behavioral change.
That's awesome. And, we talked previously, you had said that you have a testimonial from a couple who they don't even look at the rewards per se, but they compete on the points. Who gets more points that week
So that yeah.
between the husband and
So
wife?
yes, in addition to the ability to earn great rewards, there's also some fun gamification built in. Who's the better driver?
Wife would win that one by far.
And we work with, by the way, we work with employers. So, they run these corporate sponsored safe driving challenges to rally their employees around this mission.
Oh,
We
yeah.
work with automotive insurance companies. So we're really leveraging, this excitement of rewards and gamification across multiple channels to really, be a force for change across this great country.
That's awesome. Now it's only on iOS right now, right? I mean, I know everyone's always like they start on iOS because it's literally like 3 devices, not 15,
Yeah, we
but, like, it's only on iOS right now since we last talked, right?
iOS now, Android in the near future.
Can't
We
wait.
wanted to prove it out on iOS at first, and now that we've been able to prove that this platform and this model actually works, that it does create meaningful improvements in safe driving behavior, you can expect to see us across Android in the near future,
That will be an adventure because every device is different.
for sure.
But I love the idea because 'cause actually slow me down. I mean, I don't look at my phone a whole lot, and you had mentioned previously that it doesn't dock you for having Spotify open, just not touching it.
Yeah, as long as you can use your navigation, stream your favorite music or, podcasts, even the entrepreneur's Enigma, um, and
Yay!
you can make hands-free calls. But the second that you go to really meaningfully interact with your phone to send a text, to browse the web, to check your email, to scroll
Mm.
through your Facebook feed, and so on and so
How do
forth.
people do this? I don't know how people can actively do this and not crash into a tree right away.
Well,
It's just, like, beyond me.
you'd be surprised. I mean, it's 2 million accidents is a lot of accidents, and I think we've all been in that situation where we've been out and about, whether we're driving on the main roads where we live, or even on the highway, and you look out of your side window, and you see someone at the
Yeah.
highway moving 60 or 70 miles an hour, looking heads down on their phone, which is nuts. But it happens.
It's
But it
terrifying.
happens all the time. In fact,
Oh.
COVID has actually. There's been studies that have shown that we are now more addicted to our phones and our technology today than we were
Mhm.
pre-COVID. and you've got more
Makes
more
sense.
drivers out
Yeah.
there opting for the relative quote unquote safety of their own cars in place of public transportation. And so it's the perfect storm for distracted driving. More cars on the road, more people addicted to technology. By the way, more commuters, cyclists, people biking to work, walking to
I
work.
know.
And so,
Yeah.
the timing couldn't be more important.
We're going to take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and get right back to the show.
Hey there, it's Jason Falls. If your company or maybe one of your clients sells to marketers, you look for advertising channels that guarantee business marketers are paying attention, right? Let me introduce you to the Marketing Podcast Network. You're listening to it right now. It's a network of podcasts all about marketing. So 100% of MPN's audience are marketers. Reach them by advertising on the Marketing Podcast Network. Learn more and find our media kit at marketingpodcasts.net.
So you've had both sides of the entrepreneur coin, investing in entrepreneurs, being an entrepreneur 3 times over. What is the scariest thing about being an entrepreneur?
I think for me, it's always been that, you know, and I think this is probably something that resonates with most entrepreneurs, but it's the level of uncertainty. You don't necessarily know where your
Hmm.
next meal is coming from in the early days of growing a business. It's not a constant, paycheck coming from a big corporate job. And so, if you're in my shoes and you've got, a family to feed, if you've got bills to pay, I have a new child on the way. The risk profile, you need to be comfortable with the understanding that 95, 98% of startups fail. And you need to be comfortable with the fact that, this is something that could be massively successful, or it could just be another notch in your belt in terms of a good learning experience.
Hmm. Now, on the flip side, what's the best thing about being an entrepreneur versus especially being on the other side, investing in entrepreneurs?
What's amazing is you can get up every single day, get out of bed, create something that creates instantaneous and meaningful change. You're not just a cog in the wheel at a large business. You are in the driver's seat, and the things that you
Hmm.
do on that day um, can be massively, impactful and successful or not so successful. But you are in the driver's seat, and
That's
if you
awesome.
like to create, if you like to build, if you like that opportunity, like that is the beauty of being an entrepreneur.
That's awesome. So Ryan, where can people find you online? Is it thisappsaveslives.com?
Thisappsaveslives.com. You can search for it in the Apple App Store as well. This app saves lives, or TASL, TASL for short.
Very cool. And then you're over LinkedIn. So if they want to find you, it's Ryan Frankel, EL, not LE, right?
Correct.
Ryan, thank you so much for coming on. This is awesome. Everyone, check this app out. I can't wait till it's on Android.
Thanks for having me on the show. This is great.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being on. That was a great show. Hey, if you're enjoying Entrepreneurs Enigma, please give us a review on the podcast directory of your choice. We're on all of them. And these reviews really help others find the show. Also, if you're getting value from the show and want to buy me a coffee, go to the show notes and click on the link to help me stay awake while I bring you more great episodes to your ears. That's in the show notes, and I look forward to the next episode. Take care, guys. Goldstein Media hopes you have enjoyed this episode.
You may know you're listening to this show along the Marketing Podcast Network, but did you know there are other great shows on MPN to help your business? Sarah Panous hosts a great podcast called Marketing with Empathy. Sarah, tell us what these fine folks will get when they listen.
Marketing with Empathy is a weekly podcast, and it's designed for brand content marketers who want to connect with their audiences through storytelling and are looking for help to do it better, plus enjoy that recognition, growth, and just joy that comes from creating great work.
Awesome. Where can people subscribe?
Yeah, head on over to marketingpodcast.net and you will see the Marketing with Empathy show there. Otherwise, wherever you listen to podcasts, you'll find Marketing with Empathy.
You heard her. Go subscribe. This podcast is heard along the Marketing Podcast Network. For more great marketing podcasts, visit marketingpodcasts.net.